Hey everybody, this is Stratagem, and these are my thoughts on the first episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Season 7 Celestial Advice. We start off with Spike playing the role of the exposition fairy and bringing us all up to speed. I would call this scene forced, but really we've had worse. Also, while distracting Starlight, we see Spike imitating Rarity, which is kinda funny. Though I do not want to know just why Spike has been practicing to imitate his crush's looks and voice. So apparently, instead of a stained glass window, our heroes from the Season 6 finale get some medals instead. And the festivities are hosted at Twilight's place instead of Canterlot Castle. At the ceremony we get to see Thorax and the reformed Changelings again. I'm really starting to get used to the new looks, though I still prefer the original designs. I hope that later in the season Chrysalis will come back with an army of real Changelings, but just don't reform her, please. Speaking of the Changelings, we learned some interesting things about them in this episode. Apparently they can eat normal food, though I'm not sure if this is exclusive to the reformed Changelings. Still, interesting to know. However, we do not learn if food can actually sustain them, or if they just enjoy the taste. During Twilight's Magic Changeling fantasy, we see that the reformed Changelings are apparently still capable of shapeshifting. Good to know they didn't just magically lose that power after falling into that tank of radioactive rainbows, or whatever the hell happened to them. Also, the Changeling posing as Starlight Glimmer can use magic. This is the first time we've seen a Changeling, other than Chrysalis, use proper magic. Could he do this because he was posing as a powerful spellcasting unicorn, or are they all capable of proper unicorn-level magic? If so, wow, they really are a species of all alicorns. Well, the real Changelings are. Some of the good ones seem to be lacking wings or horns. On to the story proper. Discord stirs some shit, causing Twilight to start freaking out. Why in the hell does any pony even listen to that guy? Reformed or not, he's still a douchebag. One problem with the story is, Twilight is suddenly starting to compare Starlight to her Season 1 self, thinking that she'll have to send Starlight away so that she may learn more about friendship. Yeah, no. The situation's completely different. Twilight was studying magic and was ignoring all her social interactions because of that. Celestia originally sent Twilight away because she was a recluse and terrible at friendship. She had to go to Ponyville to learn about the one thing that Celestia felt she was unable to teach Twilight. Starlight, on the other hand, is studying friendship and thus already had to make friends and all that jazz. There really is no reason to send her away. Oh sure, she could maybe further her studies someplace else, but come on, these are vastly different things. So Twilight's whole "I must send Starlight away" idea is kind of, well, stupid. Well, ignoring that, let's look at the places Twilight wants to send Starlight off to. The Changeling Kingdom, to help Thorax and his guys adapt. Okay, no. While they could maybe use some help adjusting to their new lives, that is probably not a task for some pony who only recently mind-controlled her friends into doing her bidding, and still doesn't know how to express her negative feelings to her friends in a proper way. Next episode. No, helping the Changelings is not a task for someone who just graduated friendship studies. Sounds more like something Twilight should tackle herself, what with her being the princess of friendship and all that. The next location that comes to Twilight's mind is apparently the Dragon Kingdom. Ah, the lush rocks and rocky rock terrain of volcanoes. Twilight must really hate Starlight. Not being concerned with the fact that this is not the proper place to live for a pony, Twilight's main worry seems to be that some of the dragons might be massive dicks and try to kill Starlight. Don't they all have to obey the Dragon Lord no matter what? Like when Spike commanded Garble to hug everyone in the Gauntlet of Fire? If so, that worry would be rather unfounded. Still, the Dragonlance, god damn it, what is wrong with you, Twilight? Finally, she seems to come to her senses and considers sending Starlight off to a pony city, in this case the Crystal Empire. But apparently, Sunburst not only still hasn't fixed his mane after 26 episodes, he would also be a bad influence on Starlight and cause her to get black-holed to death. Gee, Twilight sure has a lot of faith in her student, doesn't she? In the end, Twilight decides to not decide and just do what Celestia always did. Let her pupil figure out everything on her own. Good leadership right there. What really bugs me though is Celestia suddenly acting like she had planned for Twilight to befriend the other main six and that they apparently were friends before Twilight came to Ponyville. First off, Celestia is always praised by Twilight for her hooves-off approach of letting her do her own thing, trusting her to find her own friends, the entire morale of no second chances, Twilight giving Starlight the same freedom Celestia once gave her. Well, if Celestia really expected Twilight to befriend the rest of the main six, then that whole making her own decisions thing kinda falls apart. Also, the Remain 5 being friends before the show's premiere? AJ and Rarity didn't like each other very much before Look Before You Sleep. Rainbow tried to avoid Pinkie Pie like the plague in Griffin the Brush-Off. Sure, some of them were probably friends before and they most likely all knew each other. But they most likely were not a group of 5 friends back then. At least that's how it always appeared to me. Still, all these complaints aside, it was a nice episode. Twilight's unrealistic, improbable scenarios leading to Starlight's demise were amusing. The way how she envisioned the characters to act and talk was hilarious. Celestia laughing at her completely over-the-top fears was funny. I'm always happy to see Celestia becoming more fleshed out. Also, nice continuity callbacks, with Night Glider, Party Favor and Double Diamond being guests at the celebrations, Moondancer, Twinkleshine, Lemon Drops, Colgate and Lyra actually being shown in Celestia's flashback scene. So, while not the best season opener, and season premiere not being a two-parter, which is really weird, it was still entertaining, and I'm eager to see what season 7 has in store for us. Also, this line.
This is Twilight's fantasy, Spike. There is no wrong way to fantasize.
Perfect. I have been Stratagem, thanks for watching, and see you next time.